we just watched live together the part where the ex-KGB agent explains how to brainwash a society, and he said that the leftists in general, academics, not academics, they're the political prostitutes, and they're very low-hanging fruit to push the agenda of communism and idiocracy around. So the high-hanging fruit, the higher-hanging fruit is conservatives. And I want to show you Akkad Daily, where he talks about the situation with Gatsbury. I don't know if you guys have seen. He's going to explain it. And I see that you guys are saying Carl Benjamin. That's his name. Thank you. He is somewhat conservative presenting person, right? And I'm going to show how he's actually a useful idiot, and how he actually and how it is being, like, how can I say it? Like, he is demonstrating that his mind has been infected by idiocracy. No offense to Benjamin. I'm sure you're a good person and you mean only good. So yeah, it's not like it's his fault necessarily. It's just that we lost, as a society, we lost the ability to think properly. But here he actually, so he's like halfway, because he starts with explaining why these people are problematic to the United Kingdom. All right, let's just watch, whatever. So I'll explain. I don't want to be too crude or too rude or too evil, which I usually am, but I'm going to explain.
I was thinking about today's events at Glastonbury, and actually, I'm feeling kind of good about them, right? Because we know that the people who...
First of all, he shouldn't be feeling good about them. I know what he's trying to say. Like, now we can see, like, we can all see who these people really are. But that means you have so many people who have lost their minds in your society. Like ex-KGB agent explained nicely, once you have people like that, you cannot change them. They're a lost cause. So now that we know, so this is where he's failure number one. So where you see that and you say, thank you for showing who you are, it's very important to explain that there is no way back for them.
Who are performing there, the people who are going there, and the people they support, they use as their little client groups, are, well, just dead set against us. They hate the British people. They hate
That's important.
The native nations of the country, and they want to see you genuinely as a second-class citizen. And it's nice to have them just come out and say it, right? It's really, really useful. And so it's not that we don't know that's there. It's good that the mask is off, and it's good that we're just being shown.
Yeah, it's good that the mask is off. Like, seriously, wasn't the mask off like so long ago? Did you really need to get to this point to get the mask, to see that the mask is off?
Especially given how many people are watching this. I mean, this is the most mild of it. And really, there are basically two narratives that have come out.
So, sweetheart, what happened is that now that so many people watch it, you need to understand that this is even more dangerous, because that means that's normalized, and you're going to have more useful idiots following that example. Because once something is on TV, it's not that people are saying what's true or not true. You fundamentally need to understand that this is actually strengthens them. He's wrong, fundamentally wrong, in thinking that them dropping the mask is a good thing. It's actually a step towards taking over. That is the strongest step, one of the biggest ones you can take.
Is the most mild of it, which is just them chanting, fuck Keir Starmer. So yeah, okay, well, obviously they're going to do that. Keir Starmer's basically branded them as terrorists. One of them's going to court on terrorism charges.
I mean, they are terrorists.
And Starmer was like, look, you shouldn't be playing them, and the BBC refused to broadcast them. So there's that. But then you had the Bob Villain playing afterwards.
So this is actually what happened. So Kneecap, that were branded as communists, and BBC didn't play, like didn't broadcasted them. They ended up being like, there's Bob Villain. I'm pretty sure wasn't Bob Dylan a Jew? And they chose the name Bob Villain,
which was the real, like, really overshadowed Kneecap. So I guess they're not really bit of a yesterday's men already. And what's really funny is the Avon and Somerset police are like,
okay, if they were recognized as terrorists, why were they allowed to play? Another important question not asked here, Sir Akkad.
like, oh, actually, we've been paying attention to this. Oh, have you really? We're aware of comments made by acts of the West Holt Stage at Glastonbury Festival. Video evidence will be assessed by officers to determine whether any offences may have been committed. Oh, I'm sure that calling for people's death is completely normal at Glastonbury. I'm sure that I'm actually sure that's the only thing that could be considered criminal. That Villain had said that it will not be the "you're not getting your country back, shut up" that will be criminal. That, I mean, honestly, you could consider that to be hate speech, but that's absolutely not going to be a criminal act. It'll be the "we've insulted Israel." It'll be the criminal act. It's like, okay, great. But there's just another side thing here that I think is really interesting, how the police have basically become the fun police, right? Because what I think of the acts on the stage aside, from their point of view, and from the point of view of the punters, from the point of view of the organizers, they view this as legitimate political activism, and they view this as a festival. So it's a political festival they've got together to have fun and do things that they think are appropriate, right? This means that.
All right, so here we hear him like, yeah, say it's double talk, right? On one hand is like angry that the parts that are gonna be recognized as not okay are the parts that go against Israel, and not necessarily the parts that go against the government. But there is a reason for that, and the reason is basically because you are literally declaring a war on a different country if you don't have that in check. So remember, so what the ex-KGB agent said, the number one thing to remember and to think about is the safety of your own country, right? So when you are supposed to be on control on your own country, you can deal with the members that in your country that went rogue. What you cannot control in theory is other countries. So what you need to understand that when you shout death to the IDF in a concert, and you as a British citizen, you need to be also worried first and foremost to the safety of your own country as a country. And you just broadcasted a chant against a foreign country's army. A chant against a foreign country's army. What can that do to the safety of your country? Potentially. You see, this is why his mind is in the wrong place. If his mind was in the right place, his first thought would be, I want to have the UK safe. You have a concert where people declared war on a different country. Isn't it scary? I know that. So this is also the double standards and the proof that people don't really think Israel is dangerous. Because if people thought Israel was dangerous and really is an evil country, this idiot right here would understand that what is happening there is dangerous because you are calling against a different country with an amount of people, young people, that could be perceived as soldiers, because this is exactly how Iran got bombed, right? So Iran was chanted death to Israel, death to America, right? With these huge crowds, and they got bombed. So I would caution and say, if you care about the safety of your country, if you really think Israel is not okay and not a good country, an immoral country, and which is, by the way, like it's two things. It's either you. Okay, let me start again. If Israel is immoral and problematic and what they do to Iran and the Palestinians is so scary, then you should be worried about something that looks like a huge, like literally a crowd full of people chanting against this country. You should be worried about it because basically you're declaring a war. And if you don't think Israel is so evil, and then don't talk shit about it later.
The police are basically the fun police throughout all of this. And this is why Kneecap have been doing not well, but like they've been gaining credibility on the left because they're like, oh yeah, we're against the establishment. And in some ways they are against the establishment. I mean, they were actively supporting terrorism, which obviously the establishment is against. but morally, as in the things they are arguing for, the establishment is 100% behind. Their activism, their rebellion is basically regime-approved rebellion, as in they are ultra-progressives. Keir Starmer is an ultra-progressive, and something not progressive is happening between Israel and Palestine. So Keir Starmer's like, well, look, man, my wife and kids are Jewish. I'm an ultra-progressive.
So this is something I want to focus on, okay? So he talks about something very unprogressive is happening between Israel and Palestine. And then he says, well, because Keir Starmer's family is Jewish, he doesn't like it. So first of all, this is just you're being a useful idiot going against the Jews right now, because this is just another reason to hate on the Jews, right? Because not only that the Jews are hated by the left, now they're should be hated by the right because they are shielding the like, it's like whatever. I don't know. It's just a weird thing to say. It's a weird thing to say. So you're adding fuel. So not only that you talk shit about Israel because Israel is doing something unprogressive to Palestine, you also talk shit about Jews. And listen, I'm an Israeli, sweetheart. Do you know like how Israelis are very sensitive towards people talking shit about Jews? Do you really care for the safety of your country? Because I would say part of it is not to start a war with another one. But let's set it aside, okay? Let's just whatever.
But I can't stop Israel from doing what they're doing to Palestine. But I also can't have you being anti-Semitic and hating Jews. So what am I going to do, right? And so Keir Starmer is just having the anti-ups by these people. Because I'm sure in his heart of hearts, he thinks that what's happening to the Palestinians is awful, right? Because it is, really. Anyway, moving on. The point being...
He keeps going back to the point where he doesn't really support Israel, what he's doing to the Palestinians. And hang with me, because we're going to watch some more. But at some point, I'll explain exactly why it's problematic. And obviously, yes, just because he knows some Jews, he claims all Jews are useful idiots. Well, he's a useful idiot because he doesn't put the safety of his country first. I'm like, there is the most important point I want to make in this video. I'm going to wait with it. I'm going to wait.
The police being like, okay, now we're watching you having fun and we're going to wag our fingers. It's like, well, that's not going to be very persuasive to many people, and it just helps people like Kneecap. But the thing that is the important part of...
So a bunch of people, like, here's the thing, he's contradicting himself as well, which is very problematic. When you say something and then you say something that contradicts it, you lose authority points, you lose credibility, and you... right now, okay, I'm just going to say, he pointed the fact that it's just fun. People are just having fun. And then you have people are going, no. So remember that in mind. Like, they're just like, it's a fun police. So just people are having fun.
Part of this is that there are two narratives, right? There's the anti-Israel narrative, and then there's the anti-British narrative. And it is the anti-British narrative that really matters. Now, the anti-Israel narrative, like I said, is the one that's going to be illegal. But the anti-Israel narrative is not really that shocking. Like, saying death to an enemy army, okay, you shouldn't be doing that. But it's not the sort of level of immoral.
So he just said, saying death to an enemy army. Death to enemy army. Did you check the state of the UK army anytime recently, Sir Akkad, especially since you clearly already have the American government completely pissed off at you? Like, I'm honestly speaking, like, did you check the state of your own army before you declared that the IDF is an enemy army? Do you understand what you're doing, Sir Akkad? Is it the UK you actually care for? Then understand what you're doing. Understand what you're calling for, and know that others are watching. They're watching, and we know how much the UK government does to help Hamas. We know it. So what are you doing? Do you think it's not gonna blow up?
Moral that Like, if you were saying death to the Russian army, well, yeah, we're opposed to the Russian army. Why wouldn't we say that? If the Russians were saying death to the Ukrainian army, well, yeah, they're fighting the Ukrainian army right now. So for someone who supports Palestine to be like death to the Israeli army, okay, I mean, I don't care.
Not in UK. You they are in the UK calling for a death. You declaring war. You're in the UK.
I don't agree. I don't care. I've got no dog in the fight. But the point is,
you have a dog in the fight. Where is the stadium? Last time I checked, it's in the UK. You understand what that means? If somebody, let's say a crazy, because this is how we are portrayed, if you believe the shit that you're saying, then
that isn't really that bad on a moral level, because he views his faction, his side, being engaged in a war with Israel.
Right.
But it's this bit where he says, you're not getting your country back. And as you can see on the sign, the country was built on the backs of immigrants. You're not getting your country back. Shut up. That's the thing that is genuinely going to start radicalizing people. Because that is what I've been talking about in the past couple of weeks, where I've been talking about the jurisdiction.
Sargon is talking about the perspective of the people in the crowd, not his perspective. Sweetheart, the crowd is in the UK. Here's the thing. If he doesn't say those things, then he is risking his own country.
Of the British people of Britain. And this is what Eva Powell was talking about. He said that the black man will have the whip hand of the white. And here we have on a stage a guy who's half black at least saying, fuck you, you're not getting your country back. Shut up. Stop complaining. You are going to be a second-class citizen in your own country. And that
right. So you're actually describing what's Iran is at, right? Iran is under occupation. And then you understand the situation that you're describing. Like, I don't think he understands the situation, but and I want to emphasize, this is not the most important part of that I want to emphasize. There is something way more important that I want to emphasize in this video for you all to understand, but I'm holding it because I'm holding the best part to later, because I don't know why.
That's the way things are going to be, because all of the power structures around me, including Keir Starmer, who we're also telling to get fucked, agrees that you should be a second-class citizen and that you should, in fact, be dispossessed of your own native land. What exactly is there stopping Israelis from posting his song, this clip, under every person who says, free Palestine? They can just be like, no, fuck you, you're not getting your land, you're not getting your country back. Fuck you, you're not getting your country back. His song, this clip, under every person who says, free Palestine. They can just be like, no, fuck you, you're not getting your land, you're not getting your country back. Fuck you, you're not getting your country back. Like, when it comes to an indigenous population in the Middle East, he absolutely wants to free Palestine, as you can tell by the Palestinian flag. But when it comes to the indigenous people in this country, he's more than happy to oppress them, right? He's more than happy to be their oppressor.
This is where the fun starts, right? He just called Palestinians who don't call themselves like if you read the Arabic and you see how they talk in Arabic, they don't see themselves as the indigenous people of Palestine. They say that they are Arabs and Egyptians, right? They brag about it and they say it, they shout it. This is what they shout in Gaza. We're Egyptians, right? When they speak Arabic. So this is where it starts getting interesting. He just called how can you go against the indigenous people of Britain while supporting the indigenous people of Palestine? But who are the indigenous people of Palestine, sweetheart? Who are they? Is it the people who started calling themselves Palestinians in the 60s? Or is it the people that were called Palestinians until 1948? Is it the people who are called after a colonial name, Palestine, or is it the people who are called after the indigenous name of Judea that are the indigenous people? And this is very, very important, because of why? Who is he enforcing? Who are you giving power to when you call the Palestinians indigenous? Who are you giving the power to? You are giving power to whom when you do that?
Oppressor. So it's not about justice. It's about who has the whip hand. And that's good to know. And everyone can instinctively see this. It's like,
it's not about, yes, you got it. But you understand right now, right? There is something very fishy about why it has to be tied to the Palestinian cause, because psychologically you are being conditioned to go through the exact same process. When you deny that that Jews are not indigenous to Judea, then you are psychologically conditioning the next generations to not think that Britain is a place that indigenous, like the Britons, that what is Britain? Like they're gonna say that the Brits are the brown ones and the white ones are colonizers. That's what they're gonna do. Thank you. Anyway, I jumped ahead a little bit, but you are normalizing the takeover of your own country, and you are psychologically conditioning the next generations by being a conservative that says the same thing. So you are literally conditioning your own population to think in the necessary way, to like the way it is necessary to think, to become the next not indigenous people.
But very interesting how it's gone from fuck you, I won't do what you tell me, to fuck you, you're not getting your country back, right? That's very, very interesting. And we can see another thing as well. This is a step up in the rhetoric, right? The rhetoric before was always like, fuck Kistama and fuck the police, defund the police, and a bunch of other sort of...
Okay, so here in this point, if it doesn't panic like crazy, there is a real problem.
Things are attacking the system rather than the people, right? And so this is kind of a new level of ethnic hatred that's just open and on display, and outright just real hostility to the average British person. And the thing is, as I showed in the last video, this guy makes videos just hate.
So pick a harder target than this guy, come on. But you see, he dresses up as a conservative, pretends to be one. And obviously, if you know what to look for, every one of them that you're going to bring is going to be an easy target. You just know what to look for. It's hard when you don't know what to look for.
Hating the average British person, the average Englishman. So it's very interesting how this guy has been elevated up. And there's no way that the progressive left are going to...
Also, I want to say that I didn't state yet the reason that I wanted to show you this video the most. Like I didn't get to the point that I was trying to make yet. Like I said, I'm saving the best for later. I don't know if it's the best. It's the most brutal reality pill that I can give you.
To not back this guy, right? Because what he represents is the latest sort of incursion on the front. You've got the two lines, the right and the left, fighting each other. And this guy is leading a charge against the right. And the left will back him and go as far as they can. And that's good, because honestly, they may find themselves completely encircled in some sort of cannon move. But the point is, this is a new level of hatred that we're seeing with such a public profile. Like, there's probably something like 500,000 people watching him live. It's being broadcast on the BBC, and everyone is now talking about it. So it's like, oh, right, so this is what we're being presented with. It's like, yes, this is what we're being presented with. These are their authentic feelings towards us, the British.
It's very important because now I wanted to show that because we can all understand that he understands that these people are dangerous. Okay, this is a very important part of the journey we're taking together to get to the point that I wanted to make.
Why are they here again? And so, as you can see, like just a regular.
Why are they here again? This is also part of the journey. So we're seeing that he recognizes that they're dangerous, that want to take over. It's kind of a second-class jizya situationship that is happening. And then he says, like, why are they here again? Very important. He's saying a lot of things that are very important.
People, I mean, Adam Williams is part of the Social Democratic Party. So it's not like he's a radical right-winger or something. But even then, he's like, right, okay, this hate of Britain, our heritage and history has no place here. And he's right. Obviously, it's got no place here. And what this is not the sort of...
Yeah, we have a consensus here, even by this Adam Williams.
Soft leftism of the 2000s. So you can look at someone like Dominic Diamond, who has posted about this. Dominic Diamond, for anyone who doesn't know, is an old school radio DJ from the 90s and the early 2000s. So he was famous and popular during the sort of Tony Blair era of politics. Cool Britannia and the sort of self-confidence that Britain had going into the 21st century, with a kind of, again, moral unity where everyone was flying the British flag. I mean, you just never saw someone flying a non-British flag anywhere. And he is clearly, like, he's not like not a radical right-winger, but he's looking at this and going, oh, right, okay, diversity isn't actually our strength then. Right? So, like, I mean, he says here, watching Pulp at Glastonbury and feeling sorry for anyone who wasn't there for the 90s. What a time, my God, we were so blessed with culture. We were much happier and we all got on so better. And it's like, yes. And then we decided to get really progressive and really diverse because of the Labour Party.
So notice, diversity, not good. Not good. We have people that shouldn't be here, even though the whole crowd was mostly white.
Because of what happened during the late 90s through the 2000s. And how did that work out, Dominic? Well, we currently have some non-white guy on a stage screaming how you're not getting your country back and shut up and rubbing it in our faces. This is probably not what you were asking for when originally you became, a progressive Labour voter. But this is what we've got. So we have to deal with the reality. And like I said, this is going to be one of those sort of watershed moments for lots of people where they're just looking at this going, right, okay, this was a bit too much, wasn't it? So,
sweetheart, this is way beyond too much already. These people are delusional. Like, seriously, do you think like strong worded, like, or a little bit of like in the 90s were great kind of posts would reverse or stop the rock from going? Like, what?
So the important thing,
and this is another part, like, this is important. This is, we're taking a journey here because I'm conditioning you to be mentally ready for the point I'm going to make in the end. I am conditioning you right now. I'm going to be honest with you.
One thing here is to note who came out for the important narrative and the unimportant narrative. So on the unimportant narrative side, we have Kemi Badenoch. She's got a complete tin ear for politics. This is grotesque, glorifying violence against Jews isn't edgy.
I want to say, honestly speaking, I think Kemi Badenoch is amazing. I love her. Every time I heard her speak, I was so impressed by her, and she's way too good for Britain. And I know she doesn't look indigenously British, but I'm telling you, she's amazing. I want her in Israel. Like, when she speaks, she's very, very, like, she's too good, too smart, it's unappreciated. I don't know how much she can reverse the situation, but I really like her. So I say, Kemi, like, F Britain, come to Israel.
The West is playing with fire if we allow this sort of behavior to go unchecked, as if protecting the IDF from mean rhetoric in Britain is actually the important thing here. I mean, it's not just...
Sweetheart, it's always the important thing to make sure that you don't declare war against those who actually have weapons.
Violence against Jews is an army, right? So different standards apply, even though I agree it is shocking and they shouldn't have done it. This isn't really the story, is it? And what's very interesting is that Nigel Farage didn't leap on the centre-right hand grenade and go, no, I will protect Israel with my life. Nigel Farage retweeted Patrick Christie's saying, quote, if you vote reform, you can have your country back from these lunatics. That's actually really good. That's a really, really solid.
No, sweetheart. No, that's called a lie. That's not good. A lie is not good. And I'm conditioning you. You take those steps with me because I'll explain. Remember that we're taking a journey to the point that I'm going to make in the end.
He's just sidestepped the Israel issue because not really about the Israel issue, is it? What it's about is that our country is full of lunatics and we need to have the moral jurisdiction over the country and we have to take that back from them. Impressive, actually, to see Farage come out on the right side of this issue.
No, sweetheart, because he's not like this thing. You need to be psychologically conditioned and ready for the next steps. What Kemi did was preparing you to a certain important leap in thinking that you have to take.
He could quite easily have come out on the wrong side of this issue, the Kemi Badenoch side of this issue, but he didn't. And that is to his credit. And like I said, right, we just need them to keep saying these things, right? Like Ismail here saying, cry more. It's our country now. We just need them to keep saying these things. And I genuinely think that.
So I'll explain. So when you're going to hear the last point I'm going to make, well, when I finish the journey, I'll explain why Kemi, with what she wrote, which he didn't read all the way through, which is important. What Kemi tried to do is to take the people to the journey, like to guide them through, to understand a certain truth, for them to hear the next step. Right, there is conditioning, right? First you start with Free Palestine. And then at some point they all chant, you're not going to get your country back. And they talk about Britain. There are steps. There are steps to condition the population, to psychologically open their chakras to new ideas.
Bob Villain here will have actually done everyone a service by doing this, by standing up and screaming, F you, it's our country now. Shut up, you're not having it back. That, I mean,
when I'll explain why what Kemi did is actually psychologically opening the right chakras versus these two that he thinks did better than her, it's not taking you through the right journey.
To do that on such a large platform with such a huge amount of reach behind it is, I mean, that's so advantageous to us, right? That's such a good thing for us.
Mm-mm.
Like, we need this rammed down the throat of every person in Britain. So even the wet moderates are like...
No, because he doesn't understand human psychology. It would only get them stronger, the side that you don't want to support.
Basically, what we want is for them to just keep talking. Make sure everyone you know has seen this clip. This needs to be the most famous clip of the entire...
Here, okay? You're welcome. I'm helping you with that, sir. All right, so we finished this bit of torture. Here is what the truth is, okay? Let me explain it. How do I explain it nicely, okay? You have a people that are a lost cause, as the ex-KGB agent had explained to you. There is nothing you can do to reverse it, and there are people who are extremists in your midst. Why is the Jews part and what Kemi wrote conditioning you to the right directions? Because you have to start to accept that it might be that what Israel is doing in Gaza is what you're going to have to do in order to get your country back. You're going to have to do things that look ugly, that are not progressive. This is the journey you need to make. First of all, you're like, you don't go against any part of the population, like against the Jews. You need to see what's in front of you, that they are dangerous. You want to make sure that another country is not going to come and bomb you, whether it's the US or Israel. I don't know, basic. Because, like, guess what? Iran and Israel were great friends. Were they in the 79, before the Shah fell? Israel wanted to. You want to hear how good of friends Iran and Israel were? Israel wanted to develop their military jets, their military airplanes. They wanted to build an industry in Iran. They wanted to build their planes in Iran. And then, as you can tell, I don't know if you noticed, it went to the wrong direction and they got bombed. And their country might fall apart with intervention of foreign powers. So this is number one. Don't start a war with other countries. I don't know. It's not going to end good, especially not now. Like, literally, you're going through the same process that Iran went through. And then they don't bring up Palestine, because you're going through the same process as what the Arabs did to the Jews in Israel. And then the reason I think Farage is a fake person is because he was like, this is not okay. This is not okay, sweetheart. It doesn't end with not okay. the next thing you have to do is to accept the Jews and protect them and Israel. Why? Because you want to be able to do what Israel is doing to the malignant actors in your country. You want to be able, you don't want to close the door inside of Britain that you might have to take the same actions that you are criticizing right now that Israel is taking against your own population in order to bring back Britain to what it was. Yes, all those ugly, unprogressive things, those are things that you probably would have to do soon if you want your country back. So by going against the Israeli methods, you are shooting yourself in the foot not because of what Israel is doing or not doing, it's because you're actually taking away the things that you could be doing if you need to do them. So Cami here, which again, Britain doesn't deserve, is trying to condition the population to understand that you might have to take actions that are not pretty sounding or progressive to save the country. You are closing the door. And that is the important thing I had to say. Yes, Rebecca, they don't know how it feels suddenly. Your neighbors start shooting at you one day, it stops and don't know when it will start again. People must experience it to feel it. So you see, you have people that are smart like Cami who try to take Britain through the correct journey. You have to accept the Jews and Israel, not because you like Israel or the Jews, but because you have to take exactly the same actions, or even better actions, just go at it. So yeah, that's the very important point I wanted to make. This is why this conservative idiot is a useful idiot. Don't close the options for your own actions. When you criticize another country, always keep in mind that you might find yourself wanting to do the same thing that you're criticizing. Yeah, it's a good point. Sargon had been deceived to accept Palestinian lies, and I can't say that he is sabotaging himself. Yeah. And this is how you know they're brainwashed, because why? They don't keep their own safety in mind in first place. This is like, before you criticize other countries and their actions, if you have your safety in mind as the most important thing, you'd understand that you want to keep some options open. So that's it. Thank you all for being here. Also like and comment and subscribe, and see you everybody later.